Welcome to another edition of Moya Talks. We are here with Kelly Dolberry. She is the Manager, Community Relations and Program Support of DASH program Right to Dream. And we really appreciate your time and the opportunity to talk with you, Kelly. You are on mute.
Thank you for having me.
Kelly, we like starting the interview on Moya Talks by learning more about our guests and their backgrounds. So could you please tell us a little bit more about yourself?
Oh, I'm Kelly Dolberry. I started my journey in domestic violence. I can say, and I'm sorry, I live on a main street, so you may hear a little bit of background noise and trucks and stuff at times. Um, but I started my journey in domestic violence in 2012. Um, I started as an intern in my last year of college with DC Safe. I worked very closely with Elizabeth Oles and Natalia Otoro. I started out as their intern and executive assistant, and I interned for them for about 10 months. And then after that, I came on with them full time, and I stayed with them for 3 years. I have moved around in the social work field. I've worked at Willow Creek, and which is homeless prevention, which is another dynamic of Virginia Williams. I've also was a monitor at the shelters part time, and I also worked at Wayne Place as a manager there as well. With the transitional age youth for the behavioral health department. Um, and I just so happened to look up 2 years ago. And because at that point I was in my career of burnout, and I was like, okay, I'm kind of over social work, but I feel as though God had other plans because I did not apply for this position, but out of nowhere, it came in my lap. So um, I've been with Dash since 2020. It's been a great journey thus far. Um, and I've have a lot of experience working with a little bit of everyone from all different age groups, but I tend to notice that more of our adolescents tend to like to flock to me and communicate with me very well. And I identify with them and a lot of things that they're going on. And I feel like a lot of it is that I do have five boys, and most of them have gone through their teens. I've gone through all of those different cycles of childhood, adolescence, and adulthood. So I kind of can relate to them in a lot of different ways. I've also was lucky enough to be able to take the TAY training under the Department of Mental Health, which is we take that at the DHS building over on New York Avenue, and that helped a lot with understanding how we call them TAYs, transitional age youth. Um, where they're in that stage of finding themselves and trying to see where they actually fit in this big thing that we call a world here. For Right to Dream, I feel like it's a really great program that I feel like that could have been a great help to young folks if it was implemented a little earlier. Um, did you
So
want to
what
say
do you
something
mean a
about
little
you?
earlier? Because you joined in 2020. That's around the time that Dash started, right, to Dream. Am I correct?
Hmm. Yes. But I mean, if they had, like, if I just say if the city had a program like that for young adults who were going through domestic violence, because that's where when I worked at Wayne Place, a lot of kids were going through that, whether it was relationship, family members, and they didn't feel like they had an outlet. They felt as though you had to either come off like you did have some sort of mental health problem in order to get help versus them just saying, okay, I am in need of assistance because I'm going through this trauma, versus them feeling like they have to make up, certain things in order to get help. Because I know personally of ones who say that they've done that just so they can get some sort of assistance and not have to continue to stay with their abuser. Um,
So could you Could you develop a little bit more like the program itself for the audience who may not know it, who may not be familiar with Right to Dream?
Sure. So Right to Dream is a it's a 24-month program where we assist transitional age youth in finding their own unit. It's an off-site program. So when they come into the program, first thing that we do intake. We get to, learn a little bit more about their background. Excuse me, and where they are in this month, where they come from, and where they are, excuse me, now. And moving forward, within the first 30 to 45 days, we try to have them housed in stable housing. We try to make sure that it's rent reasonable to where as though, because granted it's 24 months, but some of them feel like they're at the place that they can pay their own rent. And they may not use the entire 24 months. That has happened as well. But it's a 24-month program. We assist them with all of their entry things. So once they get into their unit, we assist them with their bedding. We give them gift cards. We connect them with Wider Circle. We also provide them the moving resources that they would need in order to be able to get the furniture delivered, things of that nature. We provide them with monthly grocery Instacart stipends to help them with food. And we also pay all of their utilities. So we pay their gas, electric, phone bill. So it gives them that edge because they have 24 months to save up all of the money that they possibly can. We also give them $1,500 towards any type of career development that they would like to partake in while they're in the program to help them towards their self-sufficiency, um, which a lot of them I can say take advantage of in a great way. I can say with the young folks that we have in our program now, I would say 90% of them are very self-sufficient. They are open to looking for their own jobs, figuring out which direction they want to go in. Um, and a lot of times they come to us just for that guidance and confirmation that, they may feel like that are they going in the right direction? Are they making the right decisions? Um, and so I can say that we haven't had too many issues with our young folks, which is a great thing. Of course, you're going to have some of those who struggle or have challenges a little bit. And those are the ones that we tend to try to give that extra care to. Um, but it's been a really good program moving forward. A lot of the young folks are very appreciative of it, and we're just hoping to see it blossom a little bit more and fill in any gaps. I mean, we haven't had too many thus far. We do provide financial literacy workshops for them, tenant advocacy workshops for them, just so they can understand moving forward after the program how to communicate with their landlord, um,
Be another.
how to deal with neighbor issues. Yes. Because a lot of times, they get triggered and immediately they think that, we're just going to throw it all away. No, there's ways that we can work through these issues, because this is not going to be the first and it's not going to be the last time that you're going to encounter it. So we have to find different, we try to assist them in finding different ways to channel the anxiety, because a lot of times it's anxiety, them not knowing. Um, and like I say,
And
overall, it's a
building the
really great
system of
program.
trust, probably,
I'm
right?
sorry.
It's a bit about building a system of trust, of trust that they probably lack.
Hmm.
Let's talk about more specifics and numbers. How many youth do you help on average?
So we have right now, we are at capacity. We have 19 transitional age youth. We have,
You're on mute. Sorry, I don't know why you quit.
sorry, I accidentally hit the mouse pad. Let me move that mouse pad. Um, So we have 19, we're at full capacity, and we have three coaches, myself included. I have four, and the other coaches split the rest of the roster amongst themselves. We have another coach who just came on. She's very inclined with transitional age youth. That's what she's working on her master's degree in. Um, is working with working around trauma informed care with transitional age youth. So she's been a major asset coming on because of quite a few of our folks that we weren't able to get to really engage. She's actually within just the matter of weeks that she's been here. Actually, have gotten them to engage and, have them doing homework and things of that nature. So she's been a very good asset. And filling that gap between ones who feel as though that they didn't have anyone that they could necessarily connect to.
Yeah, I know that Dash has a methodology and a theory of change on how to build these cases. Could you walk us through the process of what you do exactly, or generally speaking, during over those 24 months?
Um, well, the big thing is when they come in is safety planning, goal planning, seeing where they are, where they're trying to go. A lot of it is case by case scenario. Everybody's situation is different, everybody's need is different. And so we go off of where our clients are and what it is that they're requiring. We give them the power to decide where they're trying to go. Now we try to assist when it comes to um, not not making irrational decisions or um, goals that are not really realistic and attainable in this moment. So we try to have them to learn to pace themselves. I know for me, my method is the first couple, like I say, the first 2 to 3 months, I let them get settled. Let them get settled in their stability, in their home, let them feel comfort. Um, and just being, because sometimes you feel like when you start in a program, you just have to hit the ground running. And that's not necessarily the case. This is like the first time that they've had their own space where they can be comfortable and just be them. So I try to give them at least that grace period to settle into their home and into their stability and independence. And then from there, that's when we start having a conversation where what do you want to do as far as career and training and things of that nature? What would help you feel more self-sufficient and independent moving forward throughout the program? Some would say, well, I don't want a 9 to 5 job. I don't want to have to get vaccinated. I just want to do Uber. So, maybe they don't have a driver's license. So what we do is if they want to take driver's school, we just encourage them, go get your learners. We'll pay for you to go to take driver's classes. Um, for some, if transportation is their way of having that independence, if they've saved up a certain amount of money, we may add on something to where as though we can assist them with helping them get a car, things of that nature. We work with them where they are and what it is that they want, because I tend to see that with a lot of programs, when you impose what it is that you want on that individual, and that's not what they want, you're not necessarily helping the situation. You're creating a bigger problem, because being as though that we are only a 24-month program, and we know 2 years can go back fairly quickly. It used to seem like forever, but now it goes by really quickly. So we try to make sure that we give them the option on what is going to make their ship float easiest for them, not what's going to work for us and make it look good for us. Um, because for us, it just looks good that they're happy, successful, and they're able to sustain independently on their own, whether in the program or after. So to me, that to me is the best outcome for us as well as them.
And that's a very interesting statement because it leads to how do you evaluate success in this sense?
I'm sorry.
How would you evaluate a successful case in this?
How do we evaluate a successful case? Um, that the client is happy, that they're happy in the space that they're in. That they're not, because you'll see them throughout their journey from when they first entered the program versus when they're getting ready to exit. Seeing whether they actually took advantage of the self-care classes, because we do self-care workshops. We have actually it's for young women and young men, but it's called the Self-Love Club. So we do like self-care workshops where we actually send products to their home. It could be candles. We teach them how to make bath scrubs, sugar scrubs, different things. So we try to find different innovative ways to engage them and have them learn different ways to take care of themselves. For me, even with my staff, because it's very important that we're grounded and that we're in a good place, right? In order for us to be able to help them or to assist them in their need. So I'm one of those folks. I am a very spiritual person. So I totally believe in, passing on whatever information you can give to help someone be able to understand themselves more. We even provide yoga. We do yoga sessions for those who want to learn how to center and learn how to, just take that time for themselves for mental clarity and things of that nature. One of my main goals with a lot of the clients is to have them be in a space where they're okay with who they are. You don't have to fit in societies because, we know society is all about labels. Everything this day and age is about a label, and you don't have to fit into that label. You can be your own person, your own individual. Yes, you may seem a little weird to others, but just like they may seem weird to you. So just understanding that, doors swing both ways, most of them. Um, so, just having them be comfortable in their own skin and knowing that however you may see or view life, that doesn't make you weird, that doesn't make you the oddball or the outcast. It just makes you uniquely you. And so that's what I like to just give them, that self-confidence that they don't have to look for anything outside of themselves. Everything that they need, all of their needs are pretty much met. You just have to find your way to navigate through this thing. That's pretty much it. And that's what we're here for, to help them navigate.
Thank you. Kelly,
You're
one last
welcome.
question, and then I'm going to open the floor, and the
Sure.
staff will if they want, ask you any questions. Where do you see Dash going in the near future?
In the near future, I see DHS they're wanting us to take on more clients. So we're just trying to get them to give us the extra funding so we can take on those more clients. Um, because what we totally believe is we don't want to overwhelm our staff, right? So we don't believe in super large caseloads because then a
Yeah.
lot of times that's when clients get lost in translation, because the coach gets overwhelmed and then people start, slipping through the cracks and certain things. So we try to keep our caseload at a certain amount. So I do see this program growing. Um, because we do have a lot of success stories. We have more success stories than we do have drawbacks. And so it's just a matter of, you know, our funders seeing the work and the help that's being done and that's being given and that's being also embraced and taken. And they build upon that. Because the more that they see and they build on, we can build as well. It's a collaborative thing. So just the funders and us coming together and really putting a solid effort into expanding the Right to Dream program, because I do feel as though it's a really good program. And of course, it's not going to fit every young person because every young person is not ready to live on their own, and that's why we do have Cornerstone, which is more so a transitional. And we do have some Right to Dream folks who may stay in Cornerstone because they may not just be ready to pay utilities, pay rent, and, you know, have to buy their own groceries and things of that nature, So
And do
We
we have
do try to
recipes and
provide.
stuff like that?
Yes, because it's, groceries right now, a gallon of milk is $6. Like, $50 used to could feed a family. $50 could barely feed you now. And that's just with takeout. So, you know, everybody is not equipped for the same things. And so the beauty is we've tried to find we've created different programs to where as though there's a fit for you somewhere. There is nowhere that we can say that, it can be said that we have no space, or other than if we're at capacity. But even with that, we do have a waiting list. We do have things like that, but there is a space for everyone. So if you're not ready to live on your own, you have Cornerstone. If you are in a place where you're working and you're self-sufficient and, you just need that extra assistance and being able to save and all that stuff, then we have the Empowerment Project. But if you're within that age gap of 18 to 25, then we have the Right to Dream program. So we have a little bit of everything to fit. So it's just a matter of the funders and the community seeing the great work that's actually being done in assisting our young folks with their independence.
Thank you very much. Kelly, I'm going to open the floor. So
Sure.
please go ahead if you have any questions. We have time for a couple of them. Go ahead, please.
What are your next challenges? Or what do you see as a challenge in what you're doing?
What do I see as a challenge? So the main challenge, and we know with young folks, is change, right? So abrupt changes. That's something that tends to trigger them, especially the not knowing. What is this change going to produce? How is this really going to affect me in what I'm doing now and in the space that I'm in now? A lot of time that's the drawback. Adapting to change and transformation. Because like now we weren't doing like monthly home inspections. So as of July, we're now doing monthly unit inspections. And I've learned this throughout my career in social work, period, when they start to hear inspection and home visits and things of that nature, they like, oh, okay, well, they can ready to try to write up some stuff so they can put me out. That's the first mindset, first thing that goes through their mind. But I feel like the help is helping them understand that that's not what it's necessarily for. Granted, it's to keep a track of, if you're having repair issues with your landlord, we'll be able to have a paper trail to show you've been reporting this month after month, but there hasn't been any resolution. Also having, unauthorized guests to where as though they're living in the unit when they're not supposed to be living in the unit, like things of that nature. And that's to cover us being the grant, the grant holder, and, covering out as well for the grantees. So it's just, to me, the communication is the biggest piece in helping to alleviate the challenge of change, because a lot of them get triggered when there are abrupt changes. And one thing in, social work, there's always abrupt change. That's something that's the inevitable, because we have to go by what the funders want and things of that nature. And it may not always be comfortable for the young person to take that new challenge on.
No, you have a question?
Yes. So you were talking about that change in 24. You have 24 months to build that trust and security for these young folks. But after this 24 months, the detachment period, how does it feel for them? Like I would be very attached to you at this point within this 24 months. How would how would you let me go? Basically.
I would say we do have aftercare. So even though your 24 months has come, we still keep in contact with you within a 3 to 6 month period afterwards. If you still need resources of any sort of help, you're still a part of the Dash family. You're just not under the funders anymore. So they can always reach out. We always encourage that. They can always reach out. And like I say, there is aftercare for at least between 3 to 6 months. And it totally depends on the participant if they feel as though they need that extra care. But we are still there to provide resources and help them out to navigate through things if they have any questions afterwards. Because okay, I can speak. I do have a client who she was no longer my client, but she will reach out and just be like, I miss you. I miss talking to you. And I tell her at any time, you can call me whenever you want to. You may be with a different coach, but her coach is a male. So her new coach is a male. So it was a big difference for her. And she has multiple children and she knows I'm a mother of multiple children. So I always keep that door open, just, so we can still have that dialect, because we were very close in a sense. She can call me, ask me questions about her boys and things like that. So
Communication is the key, as you say.
yes.
Kelly, this has been really, really illustrating for us. It's been great
Thank
having
you.
you and
I
talking to
appreciate
you.
you having me.
We really
Oh,
appreciate your
thank you,
time.
Nora. Thank you, Federico.
Yes.
Nice to see
Thank you,
again,
Kelly.
Jessica.
It's great seeing you, and thank you for all the work that you do, because I think it's amazing the work that Dash puts out there, and we felt very proud, and I speak of everyone in Moya, to be involved in the renovation of your offices. So we're very, very excited. Dash is very important for us.
Thank you. I really appreciate
Go
all
Dash.
of you and for you all having me here. I'm very grateful. Thank you, Daniela, Donovan, Florencia, Caitlin, and Maja. And I see it says 9 more. I don't see the other 9, but thank you all to you too.
Thank you, Kelly. Thank you, everyone, for another Way to
You
Talk.
guys have a
See you next
wonderful
week.
holiday and
You
weekend.
too. Thank
You
you.
too.
Eat
Enjoy your
hearty.
long weekend.
Thank
Goodbye.
you.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.